Comrade Show, wait, Comrade Lante Oriahi, like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Top of the morning to you, Nigerians across the world. Greetings to you from wherever you are joining us from. Yes, this is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. And I want to quickly enjoin you. If you are joining this broadcast, please help share this broadcast because we've got some interesting things to talk about. We're going to try to be as concise as possible. The big news is that. Uh, Peter Obi, the candidate that many of us are rooting for, having left the PDP, has now settled down with the Labour Party of Nigeria, and is now, by the grace of God, the presidential flag bearer of the Labour Party. There's been some intriguing gist here and there. We're going to try to see how we can harmonize them and make some sense of all of what has been happening around. Well, some of the ones that we've been able to lay our hands on. But I want to, first and foremost, congratulate Nigerians, particularly those that have been baptized into the Peter Obi's movement. I want to congratulate them all because it's been a long way to get to this point, and now that we are here, many of us are very confident that the first step to making Peter Obi the president of Nigeria in 2023, the first hurdle has been crossed. There are a few persons, one very notably that I want to thank and I want to salute, not just for what he's done, previously, nor what he just did to give that passageway for Peter Obi, but what he continues to do. And I'm talking of none other but a very notable man who paved way, made it easy for Peter Obi to emerge the flag bearer of the Labour Party, and that is Pat Utome. I will call him, Uncle Pat Utome, Professor Uncle Pat Utome. I call him Uncle because this man exemplifies, he exemplifies a true lover of the Nigerian state. For so many years, he's always been at the vanguard of, a better Nigeria. Everything he does, is about Nigeria. He eats Nigeria, he sleeps Nigeria, he dreams Nigeria. How this country can be better. Yeah, and he's a very humble man, a man who can stoop to whatever level, and all of that. And a very selfless man at that, who does not look at himself, but he looks at the interests of the people, most especially. The interest of the people comes first. Patutomi, was arguably going to be the presidential flag bearer of the Labour Party, and all of that. And I want to tell you some little story that many of us may not know. Because of the decadent structure of the Nigerian state, Patutomi and a few very notable Nigerians, credible Nigerians, had actually been, working out an arrangement to have a third force that would challenge the existing corrupt political parties, the APC and the PDP that we've had, to regenerate a new Nigeria, to give birth to a new Nigeria. They've been on that particular matter for a long time. Some of us have been privy to certain, meetings, that they've had and the arrangements, they were making and all of that, and all some of the strategies they were employing. Not too long ago, they were trying to register a political party to represent this third force, but INEC declined that registration, and so it wasn't. I'm not sure it was even up to. It wasn't. It's not more than a month they now adopted, having had some arrangements, adopted the Labour Party as, the platform through which the agenda of the third force, is going to be born and all of that. And so, and I can tell you that what Patutomi and his team they've put together under the third force arrangement is such that if we are able, to actualize the vision, there is no reason in the whole wide world why Nigeria will not be a better place 5 years from today, a much better place than we have right now. Because the task force arrangement, it's not just from what we know, if they follow through with the plans, it's not just an arrangement, to just win political power. It's an arrangement to begin to give, very proper ideology to a political platform. That when you are a member of that political platform, it doesn't matter where you are from. Okay, the structures of the platform forces you to abide, by the ideology of that particular platform. And so I do remember I did say this in one of my broadcasts, that some of us were privileged to certain meetings, of the third force, and of course, even when Labour had been adopted, no, Labour was not adopted as a part as a platform, and all of that. And some of us were bold, very bold, even when we knew that there were some other human beings there that had interest to run, under the third force arrangement for presidency. We were bold. Even Peter Obi was still in PDP, but we were able to say, man, look, if you guys get the third force platform together, please, we appreciate if you guys give consideration to someone like Peter Obi, because right now, it's one man that Nigerians can truly trust. And so somehow it is the will of destiny. Peter Obi left the PDP. Just like about 3 weeks or 2 weeks after we had that meeting with some of these, credible Nigerians, and the next thing, Peter Obi joined Labour, and the next thing, Labour has, adopted Peter Obi, or rather, of course, voted Peter Obi right now in their primaries for Peter Obi to become the flag bearer of the Labour Party. Now, I'm a man who receives a lot of calls, gets lots of messages because of what I do. Okay, and some people have talked to me. Some people have expressed, oh, why would Peter Obi leave PDP and all that. I think with the evidence of what came out of the PDP primary already vindicates Peter Obi. I don't want to speak to that. What I want to speak to, particularly for those who probably still believe that Labour is it's a small party, and that I want to clear something. I've said this privately to a lot of people I've had cause to talk to and all of that. PDP is a big party in Nigeria. Nigerians made it so. APC is a big party because Nigerians made it so. I can tell you today, without missing words, that the Labour Party, the moment Peter Obi entered the Labour Party, the Labour Party became a big party in Nigeria. So the party being big or small is not a matter that has to do with the party. It's a matter that has to do with Nigerians. Right now, super majority of Nigerians are clamoring for Peter Obi. And that makes wherever Peter Obi is becomes a major force. So whether anybody likes it or not, okay, Labour Party right now is a major political party in Nigeria. And I want you to take that to the bank. Now, that the world must come to know Labour in Nigeria as a major political force, okay, it's not dependent on what somebody tells you. It's dependent on what you tell yourself and what you make of the Labour Party. As we speak, many young Nigerians have never participated in elections before. Many of them, based on the messages they are hearing, their conviction right now that Peter Obi is the man to take Nigeria to the next level, many of them have not gone to register with Labour. Many have gone to quickly get their PVCs. Now that brings me to one very important point. Now, that we are going to actualize the vision of Labour being the biggest party in Nigeria will not just be because of what we are saying. It will be because of the efforts we are making. Each of us, those of us that don't yet have PVCs, to go and get our PVCs, and those who already have, to make sure we check it at least once a week to ensure that the PVC is intact. because that is the strength. We have said, and this is true, that we are going to give Labour in the presidential election 20 million votes. 20 million. That is a target that we have to meet. That is a target that should be a record-breaking target that will further crystallize the idea that Labour has become, the largest political party in Nigeria. So let's not listen to naysayers, and let's not become naysayers ourselves, okay? The possibility of what we are talking about right now is not dependent on what anybody says. It's dependent on what we do. The movement of Peter Obi on a daily basis is a growing movement. People are having more reasons to believe. People are having more reasons to join this force. And I'm going to show you some of these things. You understand what I'm saying? In very, practical, evidence, as it were. Let me see. I'll start with this. I'll start with this just to give you an example of what young people in Nigeria have started doing and what we cannot exclude ourselves from. PVC right now is the determining factor. And I tell you, Labour right now has become the largest political force in Nigeria. It is the largest political force in Nigeria because of how you and I are aligning and how millions of Nigerians are aligning on a daily basis. Let us keep pace with that alignment so that before the end of this year, arguably, Labour would have registered, crystallized, as the major political party, in fact, the most major political party in Nigeria. This is an example of what young people are doing.
The commercial. This is the commercial.
Na P2B suppose follow.
Na P2B.
Anywhere you go, go
I swear.
Anywhere na P2B.
Try this thing now. Wetin wan carry me come register? I tell you the gospel truth. Wetin wan carry me come?
Na P2B carry us come. INEC Owerri. We are here for P2B. My brother Praise is here too.
Anything wey they like, no dey do.
My brother Uncle.
If they match, we go match. We go tell them say na youth get this country. That money we no wan chop am again. We no wan chop am.
We no want the money.
No
we want
money
good
again.
Nigeria.
We dey okay on our own. We dey okay. We dey chop food. So that money we no need am. We need future.
Amen.
You can't carry money.
future we need, though.
Na future we need.
Na future we need
After
now.
all, very soon now, in the next 20 years, 30
People
years,
that
we don't
start.
bend. So we guys plan for our children when we don't born.
Sure.
A graduate, you don't have anything to stand
Nothing
for.
to show
Nothing
for.
to show for.
My parents that we are that
Obi
had
one for
certificates in
president.
their days.
I'm more
Are
even better off than me in 21st century, in 2022.
Serious.
If they chop money 1999, you know do you. 2003, you know do you. 2007, you know do you.
Well, Nigerians, I just want to, I play that clip, just to give an example. That scene you saw right there is a scene that is happening all across this nation. People are getting convinced on a daily basis. And the more people get convinced and they show their conviction, the more a lot of other people are joining the trend. Now, why are they doing this? It's not because people just love Peter Obi that much. Everybody you see mentioning Peter Obi or talking about Peter Obi, it's not talking about Peter Obi because it's Peter Obi. It's talking about Peter Obi because it's Nigeria. Everybody wants to see practical change in this country. Everybody already knows. In fact, we don't need any soothsayer to come and tell us that this country is heading for the rocks. We don't need any soothsayer to tell us that this country is very near disaster as we speak because of bad economic policies, because of bad, because of nepotism, because of ineptitude on the part of the leaders, because of the super corruption like has never been seen before. And the young people have seen that there is no hope for the future. Not for them, not even for the children unborn. And so therefore, if we need to salvage this country, there is a practical need for people to take those steps to start salvaging this country. And we have seen the role of politics and power in the affairs of a nation. The last 7 years is a clear evidence. It's a clear evidence of the fact that the people we choose as leaders determines how our future would be. 7 years ago, Nigeria was better off than this. Today, everybody is complaining. If there is no part of this country that people are not talking about, are not complaining about. And again, the ruling class have brought a political mindset, a political culture that is so decadent that if we do not relieve ourselves from the kind of political culture we have right now that is looking like normal, you understand what I'm saying now? Then we are doomed as a nation. Peter B understands this. He speaks to all of these, all of them. This is why I'm going to play this particular clip. Where because I like, because it's not just me talking. I like us to equally hear from the horse's mouth. He understands this. He knows we have to come out of this political culture, this very bad one that is shortchanging millions of Nigeria to the extent that our schools are not in place, no infrastructure, nothing, no hope for the future. But for those who are in control of the power and the wealth of the nation, okay, they do not go to the same market that you and I go to. They do not go to the same hospitals. So at the end of the day, they steal from us, like somebody described the Nigeria's democracy, that it is, and I put it out here. He said, how would you define Nigeria's democracy today? He said, money of the people stolen from the people to buy the people. That is our democracy today, and it's very apt. Credit to Daily Trust for this particular, what's it called, a cartoon that defines Nigeria very aptly. But let's just take a listen to Peter B yet again, making a case for why Nigerians need to join this train.
This is the Common Show.
Dr. Liu had just told you about Winlo. I don't know Winlo from Adam. I knew him when I became a governor. He told me he's a heart specialist. That he can do heart operation with this. I said, why don't you come and do it in Anambra State? He told me there's no hospital where he can do it. I said, you know what you're going to do? Give me the cost of all the equipments you need to do it. And I went to a mission hospital. By the time we calculated, everything came to almost ₦1 billion. I wrote the check and gave the mission. I said, listen, set it up. He's there, he's working. They haven't operated on me, but they're saving other people's lives. Why will I use that money? Why will I take that money to come and buy a house in Atlanta? Do I live in Atlanta? No. If I come to Atlanta, I pay for a hotel and go. This hotel room cannot cost more than $200 a night. I won't even pay if it's more, because I only want to sleep. And people come here and pay for $2,000 to sleep. If anybody takes $2,000 from me, I'll be awake, thinking they're selling my money. Why will I sleep? It's only to sleep. But people come here, if see a man who has, I can understand Ben Bruce, who has had money all the while, he can tell me the type of hotel he's sleeping. It doesn't matter to me, the name of the hotel. All you want is to sleep. You're not going to buy the hotel. You're not the owner of the hotel. So don't tell me you're staying in a Word of Australia, you're staying in this. A hotel is a hotel. You only want to sleep and wake up in the morning. And people do it with other people's money, not with their own money. You cannot. And that is the waste you see in our place.
This is the Common Show.
That's Peter B, laying credence to the fact that, we need to change the trajectory. Okay? And one of the things that make Peter B's, ideology and of course his way of life very interesting to me, apart from his simplicity as a human being, he understands that there is no need to be wasteful. And one of the major, a major bane of our nation today is wastefulness, giving room to corruption. So people are unnecessarily, unduly wasteful. I mean, he talked about, political office holders traveling and going with baggage, a commissioner of this, minister of this, people that are not invited, they all come and they all go with us. People may not understand. For every journey, if a governor, for instance, makes beyond the Nigeria, okay, there's what they call Esther code. And Esther code is not even paid in Naira. Many Nigerians may not come. For everybody that travels with the governor outside the country, they are paid in dollars. It can be $1,000 a night. It can be $2,000 a night. It can be $5,000 a night. It can be $20,000 a night, depending on what they apportion themselves. At the end of the day, it is coming from the coffers of the state. Whenever the president leaves Nigeria and you see multitude of ministers traveling with him, as senior special assistant traveling with him, I mean, every one of them is going to pay an Esther code for traveling with the president, and yet they are not the ones invited. And this is what Peter B was talking about. And in some of my brokers, I've referred to the fact that, and I'm convinced by that a nation reflects, the kind of leaders the nation gives herself. If you look at Nigeria today, Nigeria is blessed. Nigerians are intelligent people. Globally, the whole world knows that Nigerians are potentially the most intelligent people in this world. But the problem is that because of the kind of leadership we have not been able to harness our intelligence, our resources, and convert them into proper nation building. Nigerians can build nuclear materials for our electricity. Nigerians can build drones. Nigerians can do anything, but the environment is not conducive for people to even tap their brains and put them to this positive use for nation building. We are bedeviled by regionalism. We are bedeviled by religiosity. We are bedeviled by ethnicity. We are bedeviled by too many things. There is no true sense of nation building. There is no true sense of patriotism. I am an Edoma, and so therefore, if what is we are looking after or looking for does not benefit my immediate self, it should benefit my immediate family. If it does not, then it should benefit another Edoma. If it does not, then it should benefit somebody from Bende. That's our problem. Even if the most capable person is from another place, we want to be selfish about this. And the reason why we are here is because of the kind of political culture we've given to ourselves and the kind of leaders that we've had over the years. They have found this particular culture. They found the flame of this very bad and decadent culture that we now look like what we are actually not as a people. And because we are not like what we are actually not, and as a people who are intelligent, we need to deploy our intelligence anyhow. You now see Nigerians into crime intelligently. We are the most intelligent criminals in the world. If we want to be. The most intelligent family in the UK, the Mafia family, they are Nigerians. The most intelligent immigrant community in the United States of America and all over the world are Nigerians. And I tell you that with the outlook of a man like Peter Obi, our intelligence can be redirected for the betterment of this country. With the outlook and the way the man is trying to marshal the idea and his ideas on how to reposition this country, we want to see a Peter Obi presidency that at the end of his tenure will have no reasons. The Igbo man from Anambra State will have no reasons not to see the Yoruba man, the Hausa man from Bauchi State to say, this man is my brother. The Yoruba man in Oyo State will have no reasons not to see the man in Imo State to say, truly, this man is my brother. We cannot only be united when it comes to football. We should be united when it comes to every other thing in this country. And that sense of unity, that sense of patriotism can only be brought about by a leader who understands what it means to be patriotic. By a leader who is selfish to plug all the holes of corruption and put the money back into the people. Because when the Hausa man, the young Hausa man or Fulani man in Katsina is happy because the dividends of democracy is getting to him. He's fulfilled, he's able to earn a living, he's able to deploy his own resources and earn a comfortable and a secure living. That Hausa man will be happy with the Igbo man who has a shop near his own house. He will be happy with the Yoruba man who is a teacher in his own environment. They will see themselves as Nigerians because somehow life is good for everybody. And it will happen only by the policies and implementation of policies of a good leader who will lead from the front and show the example. And in that leader, we have a man like Peter Obi. Why would we not make the sacrifices to turn the Labour Party into the most major party overnight? That is what we are doing. That is my commitment. That should be your commitment. It is not Obi's commitment. It is our commitment because we have a nation to save. To give you an example of this, I want to play this video. I came across this video and I said, this video makes some sense in trying to illustrate the worldview and the vision of Peter Gregory Obi. Let us take a listen. Let's just watch this.
This is the commercial.
What is it about Nigerians that why are Nigerians so clever? All these internet scams. Like when you hear about internet scams, it's Nigerians.
Yeah.
Right? Nigerians come to America. They're one of the most successful groups of immigrants in all the fucking countries, 100 plus whatever countries. Nigerians murder it when they come to America. There's something about, there's a work ethic, but there's also a
Now, if you listen to this man, he said one of the most intelligent immigrant communities in America, they are Nigerians. Imagine that the contributions Nigerians are making to the American economy and the American state, that Nigerians are making these same contributions in Nigeria. Imagine that the Nigerians in the UK, they don't have any reason to leave their country, and they are deploying their God-given talents in Nigeria. Imagine what the country would be. Even as bad as things are, see how industrious we are as a people. Look at the Igbos. Wherever they go, see how the areas and what they do turns to gold. Look at the Yorubas. Look at what they are deploying as a people. Look at the people of the South. And all of these abundant human resources, they are all equally joined with abundant natural resources that we have not even explored up to a tenth of. Potentially, I tell you, Nigeria is the greatest country in this world. Potentially. And we need a leader that will unleash that potential of Nigerian people. A leader that will create the environment for every Nigerian to deploy her God-given talent and potentials that will skyrocket this nation beyond, far above every other nation in this world. Peter Obi will give us that foundation. Let us take a listen further.
cleverness to Nigerians. Like
I've said it before. I'm the runt of my people, brain-wise, body-wise. Because when I went back recently,
that is synonymous with scams.
It's like you saw it in
Nigerian scams. Yeah, you hear about.
And that's the thing. Like, we're scamming, but a lot of them is because of the opportunity. They're so smart, but the opportunity isn't there, so they can't go to school. They can't do that. So
did you hear about the guy who sold a fucking airport that didn't exist to Japan?
Really?
Remember that one? A Nigerian dude sold a fucking airport that wasn't a real airport.
We're winning.
Yeah, I mean,
many people do that with like buildings or Airbnbs, but that's a fucking airport.
An airport.
Okay.
Bro, he sold an airport.
Fuck, the Japanese are smart too, man. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, we talked about it like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Like they spent a fuckload of money. It was like in the 80s or something, the 90s.
Oh, really?
Well, the stories of this particular video, they are not, we can't be proud of it. But what they are talking about is relevant to our discourse. But because we've not been able to express ourselves in the country where we come from, Nigerians have become very expressive in different ways to survive. Okay, they have begun to deploy their intelligence in very many different ways that makes the world even uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying now? And the only reason why this is happening, okay, is because over the years, we have had leaders that have been majorly directionless. Leaders who appear not to know what the time is. Okay? For those who study the Bible, you know, there's a passage in the Bible that tells you, he said, the children of Issachar, they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. Right now, some of us have woken up to the time. We understand the time. We know the time we are in. And we know what we need to do. at this time to salvage this nation. For those who are still clamoring and say, oh, PDP, APC, wake up. The time has moved. The time has changed. Because the life we live in, for the people, the difference between those who are successful and those who are not successful is that those who are successful, they understand the time and they know what they need to do. And that's what the Bible said. When it says the children of Issachar, they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. And they took advantage of what Israel ought to do to their own success. We are Nigerians. Do we know the time right now? Do we know what we ought to do? Apparently, we understand that our nation is a corrupt nation, occasioned by the kind of leadership we've had. We understand that our nation is not secured, occasioned by the policies and implementation of the leaders we have. We understand that the weaknesses in our leadership has trickled down even to the child unborn. But some of us recognize that the time we are right now is a time that we can take advantage of. And for the one time in our own history, amongst all the people clamoring to become president of Nigeria, God now gave us one man called Peter Gregory Obi. In this time, in this era, man, this is one time we cannot afford to miss, so we don't regret forever. And that's why I say that the party is big or his party is small. It depends on how much we Nigerians are able to embrace the party. I did hear somebody see a comment from somebody just now who said he's in Bayelsa. He wants to register with the Labour Party. He doesn't know where the office is. My brother, I personally will try to take it as a point of duty to reach out and find out where Labour offices are across Nigeria. But in the meantime, the most important thing right now is for everybody to get their PVCs. Everybody, particularly the youth. And I can assure you, they will come in their own, normal way to come and entice us with money. But we have seen the immorality we have seen in the course of these primaries, particularly that of the PDP. That, man, there is nothing like it. I came across this video. I cannot independently verify if this video is from Nigeria, but I won't be surprised if it is from Nigeria because this is exactly what we reflect right now as a nation. I'm going to let you watch it. It's flying around this particular video. Just watch. We'll come and talk about it. What you see, the currency here is dollars. We don't use dollars in Nigeria, but these dollars are being, packaged by some black folks. Apparently, I'm almost sure they are not Americans and all of that. Okay, and some people have inferred that those, multitude of dollars are monies, deployed by some of these politicians and all of that, to the extent that people are looking to study delegates in schools so that they can be delegates in future elections and all of that. But we are hoping that Nigeria will not get there, to that point where delegates will still be that relevant, to be, getting crumbs from politicians as such. So what we need to do, to make delegates unattractive is to give power to a responsible leader, a leader that we put together a national leadership that will give proper direction to this country. And that is in the person of Peter Gregory Obi. So my people, I'm going to make this a very long broadcast. I want to appeal to all of us. If you are joining this broadcast, please share this broadcast. It's very important. We need to share. I'm doing well to look at everything that promotes Peter Obi and put on our groups. You understand what I'm saying? So that we keep sharing, because information is power. And I did hear some people say that what's it called? Social media election is no election. Please don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Social media is not where it happens. It happens on the ground. Don't listen to them. I don't want to look at what happened, in American elections when Trump became president. I want to look at what happened in the Edo State election when Obaseki became president. And I can tell you, that the much of the force that made Obaseki become the governor of Edo State 2020 came from social media. Okay, from people who were able to convince their friends and their families, convince others in the diaspora to convince their family and their friends. You understand what I'm saying now? To ensure that they give their support to the governor of Edo State. And I can tell you, I have had testimonies of people who have listened to the comrade show, programs, and they write me. Some they call me to say, look, I have never voted before, but you guys have convinced me. I am going to get my PVC. Or I have gone to look for my PVC to vote in this election and to support Peter Gregory Obi. So don't listen to all of those people because the landscape is changing. And don't be afraid. The new electoral guidelines already agreed that all those people saying that, oh, the vote no go count. Don't worry about that one. Okay? As a matter of fact, the arrangement now is it is from the polling unit. As then the vote finish, Labour agent will be there, APC agent will be there, PDP agent will be there, all the other agents will be there. They will certify the result right there and then, according to the new guidelines. The result will be sent to the Central Collation Center right there and then. That is the new arrangement. So they vote in the polling unit. The polling unit result is directly transmitted to the collation center. So the issue of saying they go read, look, my brothers and my sisters, this election, it go hard. We will be on ground. Everybody will be on ground. All eye will be seen. Technology will be deployed in as many parts as possible. People will be seeing real time what is happening. So don't be afraid. This election will hardly be rigged. Hardly. Because times are changing. This is the time we are now. We must know the time that we are and know what we ought to do. So what we need to do right now, I beg you, if you don't yet have your PVC, somebody spoke with me 2 days ago or so. He doesn't have a PVC. He told me he's understudying Peter Obi. And I asked him, I said, do you have your PVC? He said no. I said, okay, please, before you finish understudying, go and apply for your PVC first. Because from the information we have, it is this June ending that, this thing, what's it called? The online application for PVC will end this June 30th. Okay? Which means we have about 30 days to ramp up our PVCs. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So I want to appeal. I told the young man, I said, please, first go and get your PVC. Okay? While you are still getting yourself convinced in Peter Gregory Obi. So you know that by the time you finish your assessment of Peter Obi and you probably not agree to support and vote Peter Obi, okay, your PVC is already handy. So it is the same advice I'm giving to everybody. Go to your own center, INEC, whatever center, locate it. Whether you are in the village or whatever it is, get your PVC. This matter concerns you as much as it does me. So people have written me to say, what is your business? You are not in Nigeria. You are from where you are. Look, my brother, you that is in Nigeria, you are not more in Nigeria than those of us that are outside Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the impact of what is happening in Nigeria is even affecting us more, probably, because those of us in Nigeria, we are probably used to what is happening in Nigeria. So it probably doesn't affect people a lot more psychologically than it affects those of us here. Now, in any case, okay, who says that when Nigeria becomes a settled place, that more than half of Nigerians living abroad today will not relocate home? Who says? Last week, I had a long discussion with a Nigerian here in the UK. He's got a lot of money. He wants to come home and invest. He tried it previously. The investment was ruined. He's now afraid. I was encouraging him, trying to make the arrangement for him to come and invest safely. Do you know how many Nigerians, if the Nigerian state become, under proper direction, law and order in place, insecurity is nowhere. Peter B has promised that he will ensure in the first tenure, he will ensure that electricity in Nigeria becomes stable. And if that happens, there's stable electricity. There is no insecurity. Everywhere you go, everywhere is secure. Everywhere is pepper soup. Everywhere is okay. You understand what I'm saying now? Why will Nigerians living abroad want to stay settled abroad? We will all come home. I can tell you, most Nigerians have a lot abroad that they can come and invest home. And that investment can employ 2 people. It can employ 3 people. It can employ 4 people. And at the end of the day, Nigeria can just bounce back to a state where employment is jabrata. So let's not toy with this. The 20,000 naira you are going to collect from a politician to vote for that politician, my brothers, I tell you, it's not going to solve any problem. A delegate displayed a car that he bought from the bribery he got from politicians. Display a brand new car. A delegate. I wish I can get that video. I think I've got it.
Hey, delegate! Everywhere verified. Delegate! Everywhere verified. Hey, delegate! Delegate!
That is just one case. That is part of the proceeds he collected of the plenty of dollars he was giving. He bought a brand new car for himself. Imagine that all these $30,000, $40,000, for instance, in PDP primaries, we understand that some delegates, some aspirants actually shared up to $50,000, $40,000 to one delegate to get their votes and all of that. And so these are aggrandizement you can see. Now, how does this aggrandizement help Central Hospital in Benin? How does this aggrandizement, support people's businesses? How? So even if you collect 20,000, 30,000, at the end of the day, it does not make you more secured. It does not address the issue of insecurity we are battling. It does not affect the issue of bad roads. In 2-3 years, that brand new car, nobody will know him again. But if we have a government that is able to plug all of these holes, make Nigeria become a more responsible state, a more responsive state, create opportunities where people can actually trust on what they know and deploy their expertise. Make labor become dignified. Dignity of labor. We live in a state today, a country today, where children are even ashamed to go and learn handwork. Ashamed to go and learn handwork. Some of us are here. I live in the UK right now. One of my regrets in life is, when I was in Nigeria, why I not go learn this handwork? Why I not go learn this handwork? Because I already see, apart from education, what people are doing with handwork and with dignity. When I was in Spain, people are so proud to wear. People are even more respected in their work uniforms than that one where you just wear a suit and tie. People are even more respected in their work. You are proud to wear your blue or whatever color it is and move around. The same way it is here. Dignity of labor. If you are a working class person, no matter what you are doing, society respects you. In Nigeria, it's not the case. Everybody wants to fly high overnight, because there has been no sense of dignity, of labor and of oneself, and a patriotic spirit deployed in the nation. Peter Obi exemplifies all of that. A man who wants to help redirect our own value system in this country. It starts from there. Andy Oba came out to say Peter Obi is very stingy. When they visited me, he gave them very cheap wine. That is the mentality of the Nigerian state today. But let us know the time. What time are we in? We are in a time right now where we need to take advantage of the opportunity before us to transform and change this time. For those who regretted that Peter Obi left the PDP, no regret. It is, as a matter of fact, a blessing in disguise. Because there is no way you can do the same things and expect a different result. The arrangement of PDP and the APC, we know them. They are going to kill themselves with money they already looted from you and I to ensure they get the ticket. But the statement we have to make is that everything cannot be bought with money. In this time, in this election, in this 2023. Integrity is important. A redirection of the Nigerian state is important. And the man who stands out amongst all of them to give us that proper redirection is Peter Gregory Obi. Right now, it's in Labour. So therefore, let nobody tell you that Labour is a small party. The moment Peter Obi stepped into Labour, and the moment Labour had their primary, was it yesterday or the first day, and they made Peter Obi become their flag bearer, I tell you, the Labour Party of Nigeria has become the most major party because you and I are making the party a major party. So wherever you are, I appeal to you. Let us direct ourselves to Labour. If you don't have a PVC yet, your priority should be to get your PVC before directing yourself to Labour. That should be your priority. And I can tell you, with Peter Obi working with Pat Utomi, with Bemore Bruce, and so many of those other guys who will come and attach themselves with this Labour, credible guys that at least we can at least vote for reasonably, I tell you that these guys will fashion a proper way forward for the Nigerian state. All we just want now, having gotten this ticket, is for Peter Obi to look for one intelligent man from the north who has some reasonable spread and make that person a running mate. One who can help, appeal to the northern, clergymen, most especially because the real secret about the northern electorate is that a lot of them are in their mosque and they believe very strongly in their own, scholars, Islamic scholars and their clergymen and all of that. So if we can have somebody who can appeal to that class of people, then this movement is unstoppable. So Nigerians, I'm just getting ready to go to work now. Just say, make a quickly come drop this small one to congratulate everybody that Peter Obi is well roofed under the Labour Party of Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, Nigeria is probably the only country in the world where Labour Party appear to be looked down on. Labour Party everywhere is a major political party. And so the time for Nigeria to embrace a Labour Party like we have in England, that is a major political party that can begin to work for the interest of Nigeria. And Peter Obi, as a human being, as a conservative human being, as a visionary human being, already reflects what Labour parties across the world should stand for. A party for the workers, a party for the students, a party for young people, a party for the elderly and the weak in the society, a party for the downtrodden, a party who looks after the struggling ones in society, a party who takes from the overrich and spread it amongst the struggling ones. That's the Labour Party. So let's not play. According to what the Bible says, it said the children of Issachar, they knew the time and they knew what Israel ought to do. Let us know the time and let us know what Nigeria ought to do. And what we have to do is to support Peter Gregory Obi, because Peter Gregory Obi is coming at this time when Nigeria is most in need of a redirection. At this time when Nigeria is in need of a proper identity. At this time when Nigeria is in need of that human being that will harness our intelligence as a people, that will harness our resourcefulness as a people and put them to proper use in Nigeria. That true patriotism will be born and it will grow and everybody will see and identify with it. And the whole world will come to recognize that yes, a nation is born in Africa and the entire black race is liberated. Nigerian people, my name is Comrade Lamtek Mahosariahi. I approve this message, share it to the high heavens, and let us run with this movement. God bless you. God bless Peter Gregory Obi. And may God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
Comrade Show. Comrade Lamtek Mahosariahi. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.